Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this Meet the Author session discussing the new Don't Panic Guide, the absolute beginner's guide to configuration management. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jessica Korzeniowska and I will be hosting this afternoon session. But the stars of today, I'm delighted to be joined by Sandrine Gonthier and Adriana de Souza. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you both?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, wonderful. Well, I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into discussing this book, which is the newest in the Don't Panic series from the Institute for Systems Engineering. Welcome guests and to listeners later on YouTube. We're thrilled to have you with us. We are going to talk about the book. Adriana and Sandrine are going to give an overview of it and talk more about the background of the book and where it came from. We're going to talk about their writing process. We've got 3 authors in the room today, so I'm sure we will get into that and get excited about each other's writing processes. And then finally, we're going to talk about what's next for this book, what's the vision for this, and hear from Sandrine and Adriana as well. Okay, so let's get started on our first question. So can you please tell us about the background of the book and where it came from, first of all? So what inspired you both to start writing this book together?
So I think I have to say Sandrine came to me when I was the chair of Configuration Management Working Group, and she noticed all these Don't Panic guys coming up from the IFSE organization, and she was like, why don't we do something similar? It's such a cool thing to do, such a good thing. Configuration management is not well understood by many people. Why don't we have a Don't Panic guide for that? So I think for me, it was Sandrine that came to me and came with the idea. So I don't know if she wants to say some few words where she got inspired as well from that.
Yes. Adriana exactly explained it. In fact, I had seen a publication, an advertising publication on a Don't Panic guide. I don't remember which one it was, and I bought 2 Don't Panic guide at that moment. And what I liked was the title, the Don't Panic, which is really something that we can apply, both of us, to configuration management, because it's not. It's sometimes something that is not well known, and when we say we work in configuration management, usually we have people a little bit scared by and not willing really to engage the discussion on this topic, because it sounds like a difficult topic or something very obscure, very unclear. So the Don't Panic title was really something that it made something in my mind, and that's how the discussion started. And Adriana immediately said, oh, yes, you are right, why not? And that's how it started.
Yeah. So this is both something that you've both seen from your backgrounds working in configuration management. I probably should have asked to begin with, do you both want to give us a little bit of a background about yourselves as well?
So I have been working for space industry for more than 31 years, and initially I started with hardware design. I was a designer of electronic cards for space equipment. Then I worked as a configuration manager for space payloads, and then for big systems in space industry. So my path started really in engineering design as a design engineer and working on advanced studies. And I came late to configuration management, and I also endorsed various positions in quality management system and so on. And I am currently working as a configuration management expert.
Amazing.
Adrienne?
So I am. I worked in various positions in France, Germany, and now the UK. I worked in aerospace and defense, and I currently work in aerospace industry. And I'm also a configuration management expert. I also started as a designer, a design engineer, and worked into systems engineering, and then specialized in configuration management by chance. It was really an opportunity for work for transferring into Bristol, where I'm based today. So transferring into Bristol, I got a role in configuration management and actually became an expert in the field, just developed from there.
Mm-hmm. That is something you do address in your book, that a lot of people fall into this discipline. There's not really formal educational routes. It's that people get experience from more senior people. That's how the knowledge has traditionally been passed down, and that we were really lacking a concrete resource of here's all the definition, here's all the concepts, which you have now provided for us. Okay, so please can you tell us a bit about the book and the Don't Panic format? For the people who haven't read it yet, what can you tell us about the book?
So in fact, I think that we both enjoyed the fact that the Don't Panic guide have a predefined format. So we knew at the very beginning that we would have to write content that will be no longer than 55 pages, and with chapters that are always presented in the same way. There is always also a quote at the beginning of each chapter, and there are also some indications along the text to indicate pitfalls, myths, key concepts, and so on. So the format was really well predefined, and then we were free to elaborate our content. So we built a first proposal, and we chose to have 6 to 7 chapters, counting the conclusion, which is not really a chapter, I would say, but 6 chapters, and we wanted to explain why we wanted to discuss about configuration management, why and what is configuration management and why it is important. Then we have focused on a subset of key concepts, because in fact the vocabulary in configuration management is sometimes standardized and can also have a lot of variability depending on the domain and the industry where you apply it. Mm-hmm. So we have tried to have a subset, the minimum subset of concepts that everyone should know in configuration management. Then we have a chapter we have titled it "The Art of Configuration Management," because we wanted to explain what are the skills that a configuration manager needs to have or to develop, of course, because in fact configuration management is never a one-size-fits-all activity. So you will have to know the systems that you want to manage in order to build the best configuration management for it, configuration management system for it, for example. And then we had a chapter on how to implement CM. So here it's very high level and general guidelines, of course, because in such a format we cannot go in too many details. And then conclusion and reference to other readings that people can do. And we wanted also to finish with a little chapter on the future of CM, because as system engineering and engineering, all engineering disciplines are evolving, we in configuration management, we are working with engineering, with system engineering, and with all stakeholders of a project. So if what the project or the system engineers are producing as artifacts, for example, evolve, of course, configuration management will evolve. The practices, our practices will evolve. So we are also impacted by digital engineering, by the arrival, the growth of artificial intelligence and so on. So we finish with a little chapter on what we can imagine for the future of CM. Mm-hmm. This is the structure of the book as of today.
And what we wanted, so the target audience was really anybody out there that was unsure about configuration management, didn't know what it was all about, and wanted a quick run through, a high level, not as Sandrine said, it's a 55 pages, so not in depth, but a run through all the basic knowledge that you would have. And anybody, I mean, we work with managers, we work with specialists, anybody in that field that is touched by configuration management would benefit from reading the book and having that basic, knowledge on configuration management.
Yeah, it does a really good job of baselining everybody's knowledge, really. Like the key concepts chapter is really the heart of the book. And for me, I've heard lots of these terms. I've used lots of these terms in engineering projects, but having all of these definitions laid out, exactly what this means, how they interlink, was really very useful. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so speaking a little bit about the intended audience, that's who this book was for. You said a little bit already, managers, anybody who wants to know more. Who was your ideal reader when you started writing this? Who did you picture? And did you change any of, I guess, what did you choose to leave out maybe also? Who was your reader, and other things you wish you could have put in if you'd had more time and space to fill?
I think it's always difficult to write concisely. I think we had more content and then we had to kind of trim it down to the important messages. I think the main person would be somebody who is a beginner in configuration management. Definitely not the expert in configuration management, even though even the expert might see something in this book that might trigger some questions or some discussion. But it was really for the beginner. And what we wanted to concentrate on were the general concepts, the key fundamental principles that make CM a key fundamental discipline. Why is it a discipline in itself, and why how can we understand that particular topic in a wide general sense. We had more, obviously we come from aerospace where the industry is more strict with configuration management. We didn't want to bring that too much into the book, if that makes sense. We wanted to be more general for the overall population, so not imposing the things that we know we do in our industry, but sometimes in other industry would not be general practice, if that makes sense. So we try to be more mainstream rather than specific to our backgrounds. I don't know if Sandrine wants to add.
Yes, you have summarized it perfectly. I think just to answer to one question you raised, Jessica, we have obviously put aside very. I mean, experts can read it, but they will know. I don't know, 80% of what is inside. They could pick up some perhaps ideas that they don't use today, but that they use it in another way. And what we could not address, for example, was going into details of how to adapt for agile or for software. Or we remained, as explained by Adriana, very general, very generic, and trying not to push to the level of rigor that we know in space and aerospace, in order to have a target that remain wide and at an awareness level. Yes.
For sure. So speaking of there's other industries which you've kept it very generic, but were there existing pieces of literature or other standards from those other industries that you use to influence what you've put down in the book?
Yes, I can mention that we rely on well-known standards like the EIA 649C. I come from space, as I mentioned, so for me, ECSS MST 40C is my reference, but there are also the DEFSTAN or other standards. There are many standards. If you go to nuclear industry, you have other standards we have not investigated, for example, in the medical environment, but they have also high-level standards. Any critical domain could have dedicated standards, and it's not easy to have an overview of all of them.
A lot of background reading for you to go through.
Indeed.
Yeah. Adriana, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think Sandrine summarized it. I think we have a section where we listed some of the references
Yes.
that we use.
Yeah.
So if anybody is interested in finding out more and going a bit more into detail, yeah, that's the section where we try to summarize some of the standards that we know quite well and that are quite, generic in that sense. And some specific as well, if anybody is interested as well. So
yeah, it's a very extensive list of references. I like as well how you've put about there's many blogs and web-based resources about, so also drawing on people who maybe aren't published or things that aren't in the standards, but is really valuable information and experience from people across the industry as well.
Yeah,
wonderful. Okay. I'm wondering if it's too soon to move on to the writing process questions. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the content of the book?
yes, it's a reference point, so you can always go further from that into a certification, into CM, or into a detailed standard. Sometimes there are other books that talk details about tools, so implementations side of things. But the Don't Panic Guide is it's very contained and very, as we said, a first step into the topic. And if you want more, you can always go and find more. But it's like a minimum reference for configuration management. And I've had people that read it came back to me and they appreciate it quite well. They knew about CM, but they couldn't articulate some of the things that are key principles. And then with the book, they could finally have something in all like everything, like you said, Jessica, everything may say all in one page, all in one go, because you see different points. You if you're an engineer, you see different aspect, maybe a change request here, or you're progressing something there, or you have a dashboard that tells you whether something got accepted or not, or it's approved or whatever. So it's snippets of that configuration management topic, but having it in one book is quite a good summary,
Oh, for sure. And this just has not existed. Years ago, I was trying to get some training in configuration management and searching for these, clear definitions, clear ideas and concepts. And it really is so scattered and very difficult to find. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, I do have a question that's not on the approved question list. Which one of you is a musician? Because there's lots of examples. I love the way that you use the examples all the way through the book, and lots of them come back to a conductor conducting an orchestra. Okay, Sandrine. Okay, I was like, somebody in here is a musician.
I don't know if Adriana is also a musician, but I can yes, I admit the examples came from me, and it's really something I wanted to introduce in such a, I would say, between brackets, technical or engineering book. I think we can always find, I always play with this, finding correspondences between art and science, or between art and technology and so on. And I think it's sometimes the best way to explain to people why are we doing configuration management. If you have an orchestra, even if all the players are very good, if you don't have a conductor to at the minimum to put the piece of music in place, you can end up with a complete mess and something that has no sense. It's so that's why there are many references to songs and music and other forms of art also. Yes.
Yeah, there was dance in there as well. I appreciate. Yeah.
There's baking as well. I love baking with
Yes.
my little one, but Sandrine came up with the baking one. I think it's quite common where you can't, once you have the cake, you can't get the ingredients back together, right?
I love that one actually. About, I think it was about you have a grandma's recipe that's handed down from you, and if you were to lose that recipe, there's no way you could recreate it. And that for me, exactly as you say, these real life examples taken out of the technical context, they bring it to life. They make it make so much sense. Oh right, of course you could not reverse engineer. You couldn't even reverse engineer your grandmother's soup recipe, so you're not going to be able to do it for complex systems.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, so moving from the science into art, let's now get to the writing process questions. So have either of you written before? Was this your first publication?
That was the first for me. Go on, Adriana.
This is the first book for me, but I've published in Incosi. I generally publish at the International Symposium, several papers, and in the past I've published as well other papers in other conferences. But this is the first book that I've written, and the first collaboration with Sandrine as well for the book. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on your first book. A round of applause. So, it's a lot of effort. So, okay. So what did you find out was your approach to writing? How did you go about this? Are you a planner? Did you just sit and write? Did you both have different approaches to it? How did that work?
Maybe I can start. As for Adriana, it was my first book and it was my first publication. I write a lot in my daily job, I would say, but it's a little bit different to write for an external publication, whatever it is, a paper or book. And obviously a book is completely different. So, and for me, it was very difficult because I had no method at all. So sometimes on some topics, I don't know why the inspiration was here, and I was sitting and I was writing for a few days, and that was done. And for some other chapters, and I know Adriana remembers this, we were stuck on some chapters, and on some chapters it was really painful. So I had to propose something to Adriana. She was correcting, she was cutting quite everything in the content, and we were redoing it again. But it was not easy, and I think we have learned. Both of us have learned with doing so, and I hope the next one, if there is another one, will be better. It helped me because then I started to work papers like and one with Adriana, by the way, and it has helped me probably to have gone through this process before, but I really didn't find this easy.
So what helped us was that Sandrine was quite organized. So I have to say Sandrine was quite organized, and she, because she had the other Don't Panic guide, she started comparing what was written before and what are the key elements we should include and some of the things that didn't make sense for our book and things like that. So we had the structure. So we went and had the structure of the chapters and then a bit of text. What do we think? We did this together a bit, and Sandrine did it on her own as well, but she did a bit of what do we want in that chapter. So then from that on, we kind of split the work, and we wrote the different chapters, and then we came back and reviewed it together. So I reviewed Sandrine's chapter, and Sandrine reviewed my chapter, and we kind of rewrote the thing. So we did have, so in my view, we did have quite a structure to what we had. It just took longer than we expected because work priorities, etc., holidays, falling sick, etc. So that kind of drifted a bit from our initial ambition to do it in one. I think we wanted to do it in 1 year, did we?
Yes.
And in the end, it was about 2 years and a half, I think, or something like that. So till its publication. So the ambition of a new author that thinks everything is gonna be written in one go, and it's easy, everything, you're an expert in the topic, and actually you're like, oh, what do I say now? And it's not exactly how you would write it for work, because it's not it's like it's not a direction that you give. It's not a clear cut of you're just trying to give an overview. It's not you have to do this and that. You have to give like an overview, an inspiration for people to want to learn more.
The new writer's trap of, I will just write it, I will do draft 1, then I will edit it, then it will be done. It's like, no. That's not how it works. Did either of you have any writing tricks or things that you would do to motivate yourself? For example, I paint my nails and I wear a lot of rings so that that when I'm typing, oh look, my hands look so pretty. And these silly things that we trick ourselves. Did either of you have any rituals or things you would do to help you write?
I don't know for Adriana. I think I don't have any dedicated tip, but I have noticed that I needed to be peaceful. That is to say, sometimes on Sundays I was in a good mood to write correctly. And what I have noticed too is when the mood is not here, it's useless to stay in front of your computer. And and when the mood is here, when your ideas, your mind is clear, go on and stay several hours if needed. But it's at this moment that you will write your best content. And so I have no specific tip. And when the cat is here, the cat of my it's not my cat, but the cat of my neighbor, it helped also. Either way.
I love that. Borrow a neighbor's cat.
Yeah. So for me, I have a little daughter, and she was younger when I wrote the book a bit. And for me, Friday afternoons when I get off work, or sometimes over lunchtime, if I manage to get some time off, I would write something. Friday afternoons are quite good because you finished your task and now you can focus on something different, on the book. And as Sandrine said, sometimes the inspiration comes, and sometimes you just have to go for a walk, come back, make a cup of tea, come back, sort of thing. So I drink a lot of tea. So this happens in work as well in terms of inspiration. I just go for a cup of tea and come back, and then generally I feel a bit better, and I kind of start writing a bit better. So that's my kind of trick.
Amazing. Yeah, tea, essential part of a writer's toolkit. But did you both enjoy the writing? So it was challenging, it was difficult, but did you enjoy the writing?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yes, I would say yes also. It was difficult, and we had to overcome a lot of difficulties that that came through life, because it's also 2 years and a half of your life, or 3 more and more, even more when you count the iterations with the editorial teams and so on. So it's long. But even if sometimes it was not easy, we knew that we had a shared objective. It was, as we said at the very beginning, we have said, yes, we will go. It's a good idea. Writing a Don't Panic guide, it's worth doing it. So we kept this as a source of motivation, I think, keeping your, and honestly, yes, that's worth doing, even if it's difficult.
Sure.
Yes,
for sure. So you spoke a little bit about the review process in the comments. So how did you find that process of sending off the manuscript for review, receiving comments? Talk to me a little bit about how that was and how it felt sending off your piece of work to be scrutinized.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking for me. I think it was like you're never sure how the editors will react to what you wrote. Is it right or not? One of the challenges that we had was that neither Sandrine or my mother language is English. So we would have written something that is not, like maybe not a native English speaker would have turned the phrase in that certain way, or, and both our languages are Latin, so we understand each other. But maybe a native English person would think, oh, why is this sentence like that? What does it mean? So it was nerve-wracking to see whether the content is up to scratch, but then we also received the feedback that they will. So if say took the action and proofread our English as well. So I don't know if they do it for all the Don't Panic guides. Probably they do, even if native English speaker does it. But for us, it was quite a key one that we didn't anticipate. I mean, at least I didn't anticipate it initially, but then I saw the value of having that checked.
Yes. Same for me. I really appreciated the support of IFSI because obviously it was a great help for us. What we wrote was understandable, but it was of course for pure native English speakers. It could some sentences needed to be rephrased in a better way. It was understandable, but it was not. It was more elegant once it had been reworked and proofread by IFSI editorial team. For me, we as Adriana, we were fearing, we were a little bit afraid of the feedbacks that we would receive because it was our first book, and it's not easy to work on a domain on which you are an expert and trying to write it at an awareness level, so to make it understandable by anyone. And we honestly we didn't have so many things to update or remove or change, and we were quite expecting more detailed and precise corrections, ideas, for example. And we had two loops of we provided a first draft, we received comments, we provided new proposals as they were agreed, and that was rather simple, in fact, this one. And then the last part with the improvement of the English writing was very interesting to see. Yes.
That's nice though, to not get too many technical comments on it. You don't have to rework the whole piece.
Yes, in fact, we were a little quite surprised to have not too many comments, indeed, in fact, regarding what we were expecting, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we had too high expectations and we were not confident enough, right? In fact.
Yeah, but both Sandrine and I are quite strict with our writing. I think we have high expectations of ourselves, yes. So we were correcting each other's paragraphs and so on. So I think we did a good job between the two of us to keep us up to the level that was expected for Don't Panic Guide, because that was the difficulty, because I know we passed by the writing of the book, but that was the difficulty in keeping the book at the level that was at the awareness, don't panic, this is what it basic understanding, and having to achieve that, it was quite it took quite a lot of work to achieve that level. So it was good to see confirmation that what we had done was at the right level, with some minor comments, with a couple of comments here and there, but
yeah,
exactly.
So we've talked a little bit already about the amount of time it took and some of your expectations with the review and how long the book took. So I will change up a little bit what our question was. So what was the biggest expectation you had about this process, about the writing, that was proved to be false or that didn't met? So was it about, it's the writing process? Was it about the review comments? What was, when you started, your biggest expectation of it will be like this that was completely thrown out?
I would say the planning for me.
Okay.
I was completely out of I was really optimistic, right? But as Adriana said, when you are an expert in a domain, we know that we know our job. But it's something to know how to do your job and to transmit it. But I know any teacher could say this. It's not because you know you have a skills that you are able to transmit it, and it's really a difficult exercise. So I would say for me it's really the planning. I was completely out of the reality, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I tried to manage Sandrine's expectations, because at some point in time we had very detailed planning of there was like, I'm not sure it's gonna work like this, but we're gonna try. Let's see the first few steps, because I had written in the past, and then sometimes you write for this year's conference and you publish in 3 years time conference, sort of thing, because you improve that topic a bit better, and then it finally gets accepted later on. So it's not always what you expect. You're focused when you're writing, you're focusing on your writing, and you think that's the hardest part. But actually, once you've written, then everybody has to agree that this is the right book. It has to get through the formal process and so on. So that was the part that for me was less expected, because I hadn't anticipated that bit so well.
For sure. Well, you go through the effort of writing it, don't you? And then you go, well, I'm done now. I've written the book. What are you talking about? I'm not publishing the book. Yeah. Fab. Okay, so we have the book here, all the hard work, all the effort, all the expectations, all the walks, the teas that went into it. So what is your vision for what this book does for people and how it makes a difference in the industry? Now it's out there in the world.
I think we can come back to what Adriana said. That is, our objective was really to, and it is really associated to the philosophy of the Don't Panic guides. It's really, everything is in the title. That is to say, for me, it's really don't panic. We propose you to discuss configuration management. Don't run away. It's not that's something that we see, that I have seen in my professional life. No, stay with me. We will it's an invitation to have a different look at this discipline if you have preconceived ideas and negative ones. And if you have no ideas at all, open the book and make it. We want to make it simple, clear and simple, dispel misconceptions, and transmit what we have liked in this discipline, because we have worked in this field. We have interviewed a lot of people who have worked in this field, and we would like to transmit what is positive in this discipline. So if we manage to reach people who are reluctant to discuss configuration management, or to give an overview, clear and positive image of what we try to transmit, for me, it would be what would be something very satisfying for me as a writer. I don't know, Adriana, please.
So for me, it's a go-to book for beginners. So something that you can always reference. I have my book on my desk, so on my or near my desk where people pass by and oh no, something interesting. Let's have a look and things like that. So just for people that are not aware of the topic or just want a brief introduction, yeah, and I think from the feedback that I've received so far, it is doing just that, giving people an introduction. Or it's not a revolution, in terms of the topics that we've put there. It's just a basic understanding of what the configuration management topic is in a don't panic way.
Yeah. But making those concepts accessible to people, and giving this level of comfort. Don't run away. It's fine. It's fine. So, do you have any plans to write any more books? What is next for you both?
Today there is no book project, not yet, I would say.
Not yet.
But there may be ideas. But it is we need to. In any case, in my case, I need to mature some ideas. We are more focusing, I would say, and I don't know for Adriana, but currently we were the last years we were more focusing on producing papers, always in the field of CM for INCOSI events, because there is a lot to discuss here. But I think there could be ideas for other books to develop one specific part that we could not address in detail, of course, in the first book. I don't know, but I really like what I just wanted to share is that I really like the don't panic concept. I really think that it is worth for a lot of topics, and I have seen there have been many new publications. I have bought additional ones, and that I really think it's an interesting format to present one topic and to make it accessible to any of us. In fact, interesting in engineering. I don't know for Adriana if you would like to.
So I'm not planning at the moment a new book. Maybe in the future. We'll see how my time goes, and if the topic arises, like Sandrine came with the topic and I was like, oh, let's go for it. It's a good topic. Is the same. If the topic comes to me, then I'll write something about it. I generally write in conferences. So I also write about model-based systems engineering quite a bit. So systems engineering, model-based systems engineering, and configuration management. I've seen there are some books out there on various versions of CM for MBSE, for example. I don't know if that would be a topic of interest. Yeah, at the moment I'm not planning any books. No,
Okay.
it's a big commitment. It's a big commitment to spend the next 2 to 5 years.
Yes.
Yes.
And just one last information that we could share also, that we are both involved in the INCOSI configuration management working group, and in this working group we have engaged the writing of a technical product, which is an INCOSI publication. So it's also highly demanding. So I think projects for additional books could come, but later.
Later. But other writing projects, papers, technical products.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah. Fantastic. Are there any plans to translate this book into other languages?
Yes. I am currently working on the French translation of the Don't Panic Guide, because, as you know, we are not English native people. I am French, so this is ongoing. This is also a long process, longer than what I could have expected, but it will be done. It's ongoing.
Adriana, for you, are you any plans? I often find anybody who was interested, so somebody from Italian if in Cozy was interested, and I went, would you like to translate? And then, or anybody I meet, like, you like the book? Would you like to translate? So
yes, that could be an idea.
Yeah, so I could translate it in Romanian. That's my native language. But I haven't thought about it. We'll do the French first, see how that goes,
Yes.
and then think about more projects because time is finite. So I will support Sandrine. My French is not too bad, so I will support Sandrine in the translation. But Sandrine is the main French native speaker, so she will lead that. But I will read it as well and help out. But I haven't thought about the Romanian transition, but I'm not even sure if it's of interest for the market, but could do.
maybe. So if people are interested in buying this book, where do they go?
To the EFC website, because it's said there. Yes, so yes, please go to the EFC Institute for System Engineering website, and there is I don't remember the name of the
I think it's publication
store. It's in the store
or
publication. I think it's yes, and you can buy it here either on paper version or as you don't see it because I have my background, or you can buy it as an ebook if you prefer also. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'd recommend to listeners to buy it and then go and seek you out at conferences, and then you can sign their copy for them.
Yes, of course we can.
Yeah.
We can. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, I would like to open up to, we have a few minutes left, if there are any questions from anybody listening today. Yeah.
Just one remark that we would like to share also with all of you. It was an initiative from IFSI. This Don't Panic guide has been published with improving accessibility to neurodiverse people. So it has been printed with an off-white paper and dark gray text instead of pure white and black font. And they have used a neurodiverse friendly font and greater spaces to improve readability and to make it easier for more people right?
Thank you. Yes, of course. Yeah, so this is actually the first publication to have been used using the new typeface and this new format. I have to say it makes it much easier to read than some of the other Don't Panics. It's got this, I'm not sure if you can see anything, but it's not shiny, the paper, and it just makes it much easier on the eyes with the different spacing as well. Thank you for reminding me, Sandrine. Is there anything else we would like to mention about the book?
No.
Okay, in which case, are there any questions from listeners in the room today? You can put in the chat, or please feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your experiences writing the book. It's been really interesting listening to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Laurie.
I'll second that. It's lovely to meet people who are as excited about configuration management as I get sometimes, and it's no, it sounds like a really good thing. I have been in more safety critical industries, and these days I'm in a much less rigorous industry where actually configuration management is an alien topic. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at this book and see if that will help me explain. I'm very software oriented these days, so yeah, software bill of materials how
that's a topic.
Excellent, that's good. And also a question, an area that I find interesting and challenging is the through life management of systems, and is that covered in the book as well?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic.
Yes, because we present configuration management over the full life cycle, and for us it is absolutely key to consider it from cradle to grave, or from cradle to cradle. If we introduce sustainability in the story, yes, but we explain this, and we try to make the link with the product lifecycle management concept also. So with the as views, as x-axis views, as specified, as designed, as contracted, and until the end. Yes, yes, indeed, you are perfectly right.
Great.
It's really important to make people understand that configuration management is not only when you are in production. It should the earlier you start, the better it is, and because you will see the consequences at the end. In fact.
Yes, when you live through the pain, you learn
Exactly.
about it on the job, don't you? Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Thank
So
you.
many things in engineering
you.
and in writing when you live through the pain. So wonderful. Okay, we're coming up to close now. Sandrine and Adriana, thank you so much for joining us today, for taking us through this book. It's been an absolute joy to speak to you about your passion for the topic and your writing process and everything that's gone into this book. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful to have you, and to catch up listeners on YouTube as well. I guess any final words from either of you?
Adriana.
Thank you for this opportunity to introduce the book. It was lovely to talk to you, Jessica. Thank you for hosting today's session. It was lovely to have a chat, and we will hear from any readers if they want to sign a book or something. We're happy to get in contact.
Yes, thanks a lot also from my side. That's really we really enjoyed the support we received from IFC, and this initiative also is really appreciated to help us make this little book being known everywhere, and being going through his own life cycle. Right? Thank you.
For sure. Thank you so much. Okay, then we will bring this to a close. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.